Welcome, 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 welcome. Hello, GT. How art thou? Can I enable subtitles? Can you not enable subtitles on this? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Sonny, thank you for the summon or speaking like a Dark Souls game. Thank you for the host. Probably not the best game to host, but hey hey. Hello Mish, welcome. So yeah, first time back streaming in probably a month. I think it must be nearly. I'm not going to include that rather botched Fallen Order stream, which I will get back into now that I seem to have fixed the issue streaming from the Series X. I've got a podcast to prepare for, so I've already played through this. Obviously, the first stream I ever did for the community properly was Resident Evil 4, and this is the HD Project version, the latest build, which was released in 2018, which I ran at the time. And I thought, why not? Just for fun, let's just try and go through a professional. Let's see what happens. I haven't played this on professional mode in probably 10 plus years. So I hope everybody's well. Happy birthday, RE4. And let's use Neptune has turned up. TMA live. Hello. Yeah, there's a subtitles option, but I don't understand why it's greyed out. So I'll see if I can enable it in game.
1998.
Of course, this
I'll never forget it.
This epic opening is narrated, of course.
Murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains. Soon after, the news was out to the whole world, revealing that it was the fault of a secret viral experiment conducted by the international pharmaceutical enterprise, Umbrella. The virus broke out in a nearby mountain community, Raccoon City, and hit the peaceful little town with a devastating blow crippling its very foundation. Not taking any chances, the President of the United States ordered a contingency plan to sterilize Raccoon City. With the whole affair gone public, the United States government issued an indefinite suspension of business decree to Umbrella. Soon its stock prices crashed, and for all intents and purposes, Umbrella was finished.
Yeah, it's absolutely a celebration, and I will talk about why it's a celebration when we do the podcast.
6 years have passed since that horrendous incident.
It's an important game, whether people like to admit it or not.
I received special training via a secret organization working under the direct control of the president. I was to assume the responsibility of protecting the new president's family.
Cornel, why am I the one who always gets the short end of the stick?
Yo, who are you really? Come on and tell us. You are a long way from home, cowboy. You have my sympathies.
Guess that's a local's way of breaking the ice. Anyway, you know what this is all about. My assignment is to search for the president's missing...
I tried to go back to RE4 on the PS2, ouch. Although, it's probably a better looking version than the OG PC version, to be honest.
Some Boy Scout bonfire.
I swear down the 30 FPS makes it hard. I think all versions of RE4 are 30 FPS in the beginning, though. Even the GameCube. And even probably the Wii, to be honest.
The chief himself. I tell you, it's no picnic.
CC, hello. At least I like 4 better than 7. Ooh. Death the Pursuer, hello. Welcome, sir. The textures will look slightly better than if you've been playing it on a PS4 lately, because yeah, the work that Albert has done is rather exceptional.
That's the ultimate reason I'm in this lonely and rural part of Europe.
Government, if it was called Government Resident Evil Government Agent Leon. Nighthawk, thank you, welcome. 5 months now.
Apparently she's being withheld by some unidentified group of people. Who would have thought that my
I've been on the Wii version recently. Wii version's great. I can't believe they didn't patch those, or they have not, to my knowledge yet, patch those controls into the Switch version. I genuinely can't believe it, because it just makes so much sense. In a roundabout way, it probably is still the most fun version of RE4 to play. Is that Twitter sub or that? Yeah, because it's part of the presentation. It's part of the presentation. I don't know what I'm going to do for emotes because I mean, I was going to go. I mean, obviously, it's not too much of a surprise for me to say, but I was going to go down a similar sort of avenue to what Sunny had done with the emotes, keeping it very Stars RPD themed, and we've both sort of had to heavily reevaluate what we're going to do there now. So yeah, hopefully Stella Artois will allow me to still have their logo as a sub somehow. They won't hit me with a cease and desist order.
Right. Parking tickets.
Good luck.
Leon rocking the look, no 1969 there, guys. That's what the costume in the remake's going to have that though, isn't it?
Did you say something?
Come on, have a hat.
Leon, I hope you can hear me. I'm Ingrid Hunnigan. I'll be your support on this mission.
Loud and clear. Somehow I thought you'd be a little older. So the subject's name's Ashley Graham, right?
That's right. She's the daughter of the president. So try to behave yourself, okay?
Okay, look at this. Look at his epic story. I felt like I was playing Die Hard Arcade the first time I played that, which, if anyone isn't aware, is a side-scrolling beat 'em up on the Sega Saturn where the president's daughter gets kidnapped. So let's go. Let's see what amazing items Crows house. This version does look very nice. Albert's gone a long way to replicate a lot of the look of the original GameCube game. So it's implemented a lot of nice motion blur and things like that. It wasn't the first trailer, Mish. It was something like the third near release trailer. It tells you it's set in autumn 2006. It doesn't give you an exact month, I don't recall, but I know the trailer definitely says autumn. Are you a bad enough dude? Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. What a game. What a game. That's going back some years. These textures.
Excuse me.
But if nothing else, Mitch, it looks like the autumn, doesn't it? I mean, Christ.
I was wondering if you might recognize a girl in this photograph.
It's Sherry in a witness protection program.
Sorry to have bothered you.
Freeze. I said freeze.
It's Ian Home. Do we have any Spanish speakers in chat who can tell me what obscenities he was shouting? Wow, that was quick for professional. Death, this is the HD texture mod, so this is the latest build which they released in 2018. If you've been following any of their YouTube videos or streams, then that version that they've been showing off lately hasn't been released yet, unfortunately, because it's looking he's looking even better now.
Is everything okay?
There was a hostile local. I had no choice but to neutralize him. There are still others surrounding the area.
And Leon's adopted this this attitude ever since, hasn't he? Most recently in New York. Oracle, hello, welcome. Ashley's beta outfit made sense. You know for a fact that's going to be her outfit in the remake, don't you? Icky. So someone I follow on Twitter, I've known him a few years now, mainly through the Souls community, is a James Carter. I retweeted a poll he did yesterday, which was, do you feel the controls? Folks might have seen it. Do you feel the controls have dated? Yep, half damage. Yep, definitely professional. And surprisingly, he had a very good turnout on it actually, and it was nearly 50-50 to people who preferred. God, how powerful is the knife in this? I think it finished on like 51% people think the controls haven't dated, they've aged like fine wine, and 49% said they've dated very badly, which I was really surprised at actually, because I thought it would really swing in favour of the controls being extremely dated. So I can always manage to. I'm very fortunate that I can engage a part of my brain. And actually sort of go back to how I used to play it originally, so I can just zone straight back into those controls and not have to adjust. What are you doing here? Hello, Teddy Brooks? He says something along the lines of, what are you doing here? Get out of here, motherfucker. Ballistics. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Welcome to the channel. Now, if memory serves, one of these crows drops a grenade. Or at least always did in the demo, anyway. And it still does. Wow. Still time controls. It's exactly the same controls as the remake. If anybody's, well, let's say remake, any classic Resident Evil game, it's the same controls. It's what always amuses me about people when they say, oh, RE4's controls are so much better than the OG games. They're literally the same thing. I struggled a bit on the Wii version, but then I forgot I had 1-1 aiming. Yes, Nicholas. These controllers are the cornering ability of RE1 a complete step down for the... Oh, well, yeah, quite indeed. Leon's turning circle is not ideal, is it? I mean, thankfully, most of the game's sort of combat and structure is built to some extent around the limitation of the controls. You'd never get away with putting these controls in like RE6, for example. I'd love this area to be a bit more... Yeah, exactly. Look forward to Remake 4, because I imagine it'll have extremely open sections like this. I always love how the fact that the blood started to stain through the wood here. I think, Mish, that's a fine point. I mean, there's no denying that the controls haven't dated, because they have. They're absolutely not what people expect a game like this to play. But as long as people can just put that sort of retro hat on, then they might find something to appreciate, and appreciate why, through the history of the series and things like that, why there is the approach to like aiming and shooting and things. Mr. Spencer, hello! Would be interesting to see what Xbox Auto HDR does to a game like this. I will have to try it. I don't own it on an Xbox platform, so I'll wait for a decent sale. But I will pick it up, Nicholas. Doing this to enemies in the original GameCube version was an absolute nightmare, because if you wanted to knife the Ganados, you had to equip the knife every single time. In the end, you just didn't bother. It was that sort of time consuming and irritating. Mr. Spence, how are you, darling? I'm very good, sir. How are you? I heard your son streamed GT. I hope he got on very well.
Leon, how you holding up?
Bad question.
Bandage 131, hello.
Hear that? I'm sending you a
RE4 works fine in this control scheme. Yep,
I'll take a look at it.
I do
Thanks.
agree. Resident Evil 5 should have moved ahead and introduced moving and shooting. See, the funny thing with RE5 is it doesn't change the controls enough, so I just leave it on RE4 controls. To be honest, I don't even bother using the right analog on that, apart from just to have a brief look around. There's just no point. The twin sticks don't add enough to Resident Evil 4 to warrant playing the game like that. Ooh. Remember when they advertised this in the trailer, and you thought this was going to be such a massive thing in the game to like scope out areas before you run around them, and it's just literally a total throwaway moment. Yep, she didn't hear me jump through a window. That's okay. What a sinister looking fellow. Apart from a trip to Tesco, almost breathless. Supermarkets are a miserable experience at the moment, Mr. S, so I don't envy you for that. Planting your feet and judging the biggest oncoming threat towards you. Mish, exactly, yeah. Mish there has summed up pretty much exactly how I feel about why the controls still, if not necessarily, modern, complement the design of this game better than you would expect. Oh, here she is. Alright then, let's see how badly I messed this up. What a sinister looking fellow. Oh, I've got to get sharper with my shooting. Ooh, fucking hell. Oh, a few more than I remember. I try and avoid getting the shotgun in these initial stages because you don't summon Dr. Salvatore. If you can just manage these guys with what you've got, then it's fine. I forgot how bad the ammo drops were. Nice to see. Yikes. Oh, I tried to run and do the kick there. It's not good. My muscle memory is not sound tonight. They chase you a bit more. Where's matey going? Where are you going? Oh my god, this is crazy. Crazy. I don't actually know the rules of professional mode too much. Do they like increase the number of enemies you've got to wipe out here? I thought I'd make them fall. Very nice chicken. Going well, isn't it? Might need a strategy rethink here. I'm going to exploit those iframes. There we go. There we go. Mish, watch out if this is the HD version on PC because I hear 6. I think it did, but it's been fixed with the HD project. I think Albert tweaked the because certain things run at a faster frame rate than the game did. I know that's what caused some issues with like reloading and stuff in the original version.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Resident Evil 7 deserves a lot more. It does, Mr. Spencer. Absolutely. You'll always get it from me.
Hunnigan, I have some bad news. I've confirmed the body of an officer. Something's happened to the people.
And abundance of iframes. To be honest, Mish, the moment they added in all these context-sensitive, like melee moves and suplexes and things like that, then it did make the games extremely easy to exploit like that. It actually does rob games like this out of a lot of their what would be difficulty, if you like. Sean plays fighting games, he knows all, but you've got to exploit them in fighting games and in your Souls series and things like that. If I grab this ladder, will I go into a iframe status? Of course I will, so I will use it. I'm not using Real Survivor rules like I did last time, so we will be speaking to the merchant. Give the merchant a name. We need to give the merchant a name. He doesn't have a name, does he? The semi-auto rifle reloading in RE4 HD is atrocious because of the low frame rate. Sonny, you mean? Because I think even in this it still runs at like 15 frames a second, the reloading animation. Okay, Bandage 131 has named it named him Merchant Perry. Okay, that's cool. We'll do that. It's a Huck, it's why he's so friendly. Ned Flanders, hello sir, welcome. For years you saw Chris in CV cutscene push a zombie out of the way. Yep. And then Outbreak came out and everything was great. Because you could melee the zombies, you could kick them, you could nudge them. You could do everything you liked with the zombies in Outbreak. Should we remaster the Separate Ways cutscenes now? Let's remake the entire game instead. I tell you what, AI, like the Gigapixel stuff's making the Separate Ways cutscenes come along now. They don't look bad at all. And I know Albert's going to use them for a future build of this. So we should have. I mean, this is already the definitive version of this game by quite a far margin now. But with enhancements to Separate Ways and things, it will become even more so. I always thought there was something in here. Ready for the first truly in-depth file. Here you go. Actually, this one isn't too bad. It almost gives you a little bit of backstory. You've got 20 viewers right now. 18 on my account, but thank you. And yes, welcome everybody. Nice to have a decent turnout for the first time back. And I do promise we will get back to... I've not abandoned it, Nick. We will get back to Fallen Order in due course, I promise. I've still got the Remake 2 to finish on Assisted, just to get the loading checkpoints as well. So, plenty of things to do, if time will, as ever, allow. I thought Separate Ways looks much better on the Switch than it did on the PS4 version. Yeah, I imagine it likely will do. Was that in handheld mode, Bandage, or just like the docked on a TV? This was a game that also introduced dynamic difficulty. Yep, indeed. It couldn't. Don't basically do too well early on. That's more like it for the energy damage. Look, here's your puzzle. So can someone explain the lore of this file as well, please? What were the villagers up to here? Is it some sort of game? I'll jump this way. The merchant set that up for a fun lark. I messed that up. It was too slow. Him wearing a hat. He even keeps it on. He's just a dude who wants money and laughs. Merchant Perry, ladies and gentlemen. Like Fat Man in MGS2. I will say the sound design is still quite excellent at this point. I mean, it's a shame that subsequently every version of RE4 after the GameCube version and the Wii version had such horribly compressed audio. I certainly remember the GameCube version having exceptional audio for its day. Please buy the Broken Butterfly once it... Oh, well, I won't buy it. I'll get the one that's actually in the game. Because if you play Real Survivor Moves, that's like the only other weapon you're allowed to have other than the shotgun. So I always make an effort to get it. You don't have to go too far out your way. God bless these versions of RE4 where you can see your laser sight and hit medallions. Yeah. Yeah. I always liked the laser sight edition. It was a good, in-universe way of giving you a cursor without having a floating crosshair. It's just a shame they kind of went mad with it and had the laser coming out of like gun barrels in Revelations 2 and things like that. Wii Edition will always be my favourite version of RE4. It's an exceptional version and was the best looking for a long time. Because the original PC version was a right mess of this game. Based on the woeful... Well, not woeful. It wasn't woeful when it was a PS2 game, but when it became a... when it became a PC experience, it was not good. Maggots. Right. I have to try and... the map, I do believe, shows you where the medallions are, doesn't it? Yeah. Hey, it's that dog. What is the map button? I was trying to remember where a lot of these are. Got Leon's super steady aim. Oh. MGS2 20 years old this year, I know, please. Please don't say that. The passage of time is already a scary thing with years like, the last one going in the blink of an eye. How have I missed one? How have I missed one in there? Shame this isn't the Zebu port. I genuinely don't know what that is. The last time I saw this version was Umbrella Corps. Yeah. Truth be told, it actually doesn't look bad in the Unity engine. That's one of the most sort of painstaking things you can say about Umbrella Corps, is that visually it's not that bad. Oh, the Zebu. What is Zebu? I don't even know what Zebu is. Is everyone ready for... Okay, let me try and get this out in one mouthful. Is everybody ready for the release of Evil Bloodborne Village Residents: The Last of Winterson Redfield? Absolutely. Sign me up. Was it as good as the mobile ports, Bandage? Brazilian console. Come on, Leon, with your wobbly hand. Ugh. I think I can get this one later, but... Oh, Leon! I'll get it later. Where's the other one? Right. Let's go see a Spaniard. Now, remind me, Mish, you'll know, because you already talked about the QTEs, but I seem to think in the normal versions of this game, you've obviously got two combinations, haven't you? You've got like the square and X combination, or you've got the shoulder buttons. In the normal mode, you can basically just press all four, and it'll pass the QTE. But I think if you do a button press wrong in this, you actually fail the QTE instantly, don't you? And because this isn't the PS4 port or the Xbox One, there's no neat option to skip QTEs. So I don't know how well this is going to go. Ah! I always just get the buttons right. Sorry. Chris would have punched that. This is just the boulder on its quest for revenge. It's ended up in Spain. The fuck? Was there always a guy on there? I don't remember. I'll come back the way. How have I got turned around like that? Ned Flanders, I believe in the ports of 4, 5 and 6, they've all got a QTE skip button in the like accessibility options or something. Maybe RE4 doesn't, but I know 5 and 6 definitely do. I thought 4 had it as well. Ooh. It took 5 years to find him again. He's got one more appearance in this yet. Yeah, if someone might need to check that to confirm, but I could have sworn it had an accessibility option to skip QTEs. Oh, the aiming is a lot more brutal than I remember. When you play as like Chris in 5, his aiming is pretty is pretty stable. No, I'll hit him in the head. QTE skip is only for cutscenes. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, the dynamite stuff is very satisfying in this. Oh, I miss that every time. Great. Getting trolled by this one guy. The options enough QTEs makes the playthrough so much better. A lot of games need it, unless your game is built around it, like Asura's Wrath. Never played Asura's Wrath. You hear very, very interesting things about it, and it's quite well loved by the people who played it. Very sort of strange and unusual Capcom game, that. By the way, if you don't start out with the shotgun in RE4, not sure if you know that the door to the castle isn't all. I know what that's in reference to because I saw it on Twitter, Mr. Spencer. For the record, I did not know that, actually. I did not know that the game cut out sections if you played it on easy. That was a really interesting little tidbit. Now I'm going to go for treasures. The PS2 or 3 era God of War games are QTs, right? Again, believe it or not, never played the God of War series. Notice Nick's gone quiet. He's gone off to read more of his Star Wars book. That's what Nick's done. Loves locked this stuff behind paywalls. Kendo, hello! Long time, sir. Hope you are well. And yes, we've got the next podcast is about this, so I thought I did want to revisit it before doing the next podcast, so it made some sense to do it, to make a start today, with it being a 16th anniversary and all that. Are you ready to meet the Spaniard? Forgive me if I'm getting your name wrong. Triddy. There's a fantastic article, if you've not seen it, on George Trevor's website, Crimson Head, where they look at all the previous versions and the trailer build and things like that. It's really, really good. Yo, hello as well, sir. Welcome. Take care, Mr. Spencer. See you soon.
A little rough, don't you think? You're not like them?
No. You?
You take care, man.
Okay, I have only one very important question. You got a smoke?
Got gum.
I never did check to see if you could turn the subtitles on in the game.
Perfect.
I'll do it in a moment.
The big cheese.
What?
I remember picking up RE4 on day one on GameCube. Not getting ID'd for it. It's always a sad thing when you stop getting ID'd for stuff, man. I'm living in the UK. We had to wait months for it to come out, so I imported it from America, and the original American version, which I think was the first version in the world to get released actually in January 2005, actually has different values for some of the weapons. Any mods on this? Yeah, it's the HD Project Yoke, as Sonny has just said. Thank you, sir. Other than that, no. Just visual upgrade.
Let us give you our power.
Isn't that the luscious tones of Jim Ward, isn't it, I think? Plays Sadler.
Soon, you will become unable to resist this intoxicating power.
Yeah, Yoke, the latest improvements they've showed in the last couple of videos are amazing. It's got some really, really impressive new lighting effects, and some more original GameCube effects have been restored. So it looks wicked now. It doesn't need a remake.
You wanna tell me what's going on here?
Americano, see? Now what brings a bloke like you to this part of the world? Oh, hey, easy, whoever you are.
Name's Leon. Came here looking for this girl. Seen her?
What, are you supposed to be a cop or something?
I never noticed Leon's badge on his left arm's reversed.
Maybe.
That's actually incorrect.
Okay, let's...
Look, it's Osmond Spencer. Oswald Sadler.
That's too good for a guess. Want to start explaining?
Psychic powers. Just kidding with you, amigo. I overheard one of the villagers talking something about the president's daughter in the church.
How many people the first time they played it like put the controller down now and got a drink or something?
In Madrid. Now I'm just a good-for-nothing guy who happens to be quite a ladies' man.
Why'd you quit?
Phew, policia. You put your life on the line. Nobody really appreciates you enough for it. Being a hero isn't what it's cracked up to be anymore.
I died the first QTE, yeah, it was brutal. We weren't really used to it in this series.
I thought I was bad.
Somehow I managed to get myself involved with the incident in Raccoon City on my first day in the force.
That is the incident with the viral outbreak, right? I think I might have seen a sample of the virus in a lab at the department.
Look at them trying to force that law in.
Do something, cop!
After you.
Now!
It means the plot.
It's Leon. Sorry I couldn't get in touch sooner, but I was...
The general,
You're okay,
the
right?
general assumption, isn't it, is that he's making that up just to maintain his
According to
cover
him,
as
Ashley's
an
in a
undercover
church
cop in
somewhere.
Madrid.
What happened to him?
He managed to escape.
Maybe he has.
Do
He
you
probably
have
has
the
seen it. I
exact
don't know.
location of that church?
No, but apparently there's a secret passage in the village that leads there. I'm heading back to the village.
It was a judo throw. What was that? Tume Naga? Have I said it? Tome? You pronounce the E or is it a silent E? Matthew Perry. Merchant Perry. Hello, sir.
Got something that might interest you.
Oh, this still baffles me to this day.
Got a
This does.
selection of- What are you buying? Is that all? Thank you. What are you buying?
Oh,
What are you
let's
selling?
hope I can afford that.
Is that all, stranger? Is that all,
Ah.
stranger? Is that all? Thank you. Ah. Thank you. What are you buying? Is that all, stranger?
Yes, the turning point for any player.
Thank you. Is that all? Thank you. What are you buying?
He's the stupidest yet best in-game universe integration of a gameplay book. And not item, surely item boxes. Surely item boxes. The guy's accent is British, correct? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's. Would you say that's British? This was it. What, the merchant, Nick, or this section that we're about to go through now? Ow. This section now. Are you playing on professional CC? I am indeed. I don't know how well it's going to go, really. Substantially more enemies than I remember. Oh no, 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 not that glitch. Ow. Ow! There's so many more than I remember. They are considerably faster than I remember in this mode. I do not recall them being as relentless as this. Where's the friggin' ladder? Where is the... Oh no, no, where's the ladder? Where's the ladder? Oh, I've made a right hash of this, isn't it? What health have I got? What health have I got, guys? Do I chance it? Do I chance it? No. I have to go and capture some fish, I think. Let's just do this now before I forget. Look at that guy. Look at that AI. Groundbreaking game, this. Remember how Sadler's whole plan was to control the US. Then it proceeds, as we discussed in the Discord the other day, what Sonny said there is one of those retroactive plot things that if you go back and think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like the original Star Wars. What would have happened on the Death Star if Han, Leia and Luke had just sort of said, yeah, you know what, we're not going to fight back? Would the Stormtroopers have proceeded to kill them? You gotta have faith in the plan. That's it. They knew that Leon was that good that he would fight his way through and sacrifice all his soldiers. Resident Evil 4 is stupidly long. It is. You could. I feel the most of the padding in the game bandage is Chapter 4. I think if you took the Salazar boss fight out of that, put that at the end of Chapter 3, and just cut Chapter 4 in its entirety, I think the game's pacing would be all the better for it. Blast the enemy in key hit zones. It's like a Metal Gear villain plan. You have to have layers or it'll easily fail, indeed. Cut out all the dumb... Yeah, fire-breathing dragons, all that can go. Agreed. Replace the fire-breathing dragon section and put the Verdugo fight in there from Chapter 4. Sorted. Actually, no, is Verdugo Chapter 3? I can't remember. Look at this cover mechanic. Weren't we spoiled? God, I missed the Silver Ghost. I'm trying to find a good story point. It shouldn't take that much effort, should it? To try and find some redeeming story aspect. Unbelievable. The castle in general is just a slog. Agreed. Some nice bits, but it's mostly just set pieces. Look, I think the biggest problem with the castle I find as well is it's aesthetically. How long has it taken before we got to that word? It's boring. It just all looks the same after not so long. And then you're just running around, get grey corridors for hours. Aesthetically, the Silver Ghost is way better than Samurais. That's a bold claim, Yoke. That is a bold claim. Another game without a section of the forest at night. Nope. Military base is one I have the most issue with. See, I like it as a section for like it's one of the only sections where I think it felt like a sort of classic Resident Evil game. The early sections are like the lab area, but it's still incredibly linear. And then by the time you start getting to the action set pieces, it's just mindlessly boring. There's way too much action at the end of this game. Let's get some fish. Give a man a fish and he can feed himself for just a day. But give him the means to catch his own fish. He can feed himself and his family for a whole lifetime. It's a fast fish. They can take more. Professional mode fish are hardcore. What on earth? I remember reading an article that originally if you killed a cow you got a hamburger. Like old, like classic fighting game, you know, like side-scrolling beat 'em up collectibles. I've never been kicked by a cow though. Look, Capcom was so proud of this puzzle that they, replicated it twice. Always look for the birds' nests, of course. Tekken Force mode. I've died from one on professional. What's that, yo? What are the cows? This area caused wheel trails in the original GameCube version. It's because it had the motion blur really ramped up, and I think a slightly lower frame rate than the rest of the game, so it gave a really weird effect. I can't recall why. I think it drops to something weird like 25 frames a second in a few areas, and this was one of them. Are there bears in Spain to warrant the Illuminados by bear traps? I actually don't know. I do not know the answer to that question. Separate Ways ignores Leon's cutscene, or codec, if you like, with Hunnigan here. It's Hagrid.
You carry the same blood as us, it seems.
Felt absolutely betrayed by the early screenshots that showed Mendez, thinking he was going to be like, you know, the new version of the Tyrant in the game, and then of course one of the trailers ended with like the claws emerging from his hand, and you're thinking, ah, yeah, they're going for it, they really are going for it. He's a Tyrant, and then he's not.
What? Same blood.
It wasn't until I played Separate Ways that I learned you can turn around and fight him again. Yeah, there was someone on Twitter a couple of days ago. Was it even yourself, possibly? And that's recognised an image of Ada, which is the sort of blurred image of her through the window. That's a nice theory, Sonny. That's a good one.
Fill me in.
Oracle and Leon's are related to them. Yeah, exactly.
They're called the Los Illuminados.
Los Illuminados.
There's actually another continuity error in Separate Ways. I can never quite remember it, but it's something to do with
You're okay, right?
Yeah.
the time of
Let me live. And he mentioned something
Ada
about me
watching
carrying
Leon and Lewis getting taken away,
whatever that means.
and then she gets tranked, and then it ends up somewhere different, and it can't work if you
There are more
follow
important things
the
than
main
solving
campaign.
puzzles right now.
You're right. Hurry and find that church, Leon.
Here we go. Why did they put a really awful stock sound effect for Ada's gun there? Ah, I forgot. Yeah, of course, I forgot I did that. I've done it so Ada wears her RE2 outfit to match Leon's RPD one. Because it always made more sense that she would use that costume when you selected this one for Leon. The Time Crisis gunshot sound. Yeah, it's such a stock audio you hear in so many movies. It's like it's the Desert Eagle sound effect in the Matrix films as well. The RPDU. Sean, it's all canon, it's fine. Exactly. The boss designs are amazing. Yeah, I do think the boss fights in this are exceptionally well done. Her dress makes no sense. It doesn't, but I like that side of Ada, so I'll allow it. Fitting this is a Matrix game. Mish, you're brutal tonight. This is where you find out he wasn't infected, and Leon's just literally knifed a villager to death just going to the toilet. He's managed to stay hidden in that bathroom amid all the village being, you know, taken out and things like that, and then Leon just bursts in and just knives him to death. It was a typical situation in UK tours, but again, brutal. Alright then, we've got a chainsaw encounter. First one of this this run. Actually got a decent arsenal here. Got to throw the egg at him. Where'd he go? Just kind of take away the drama. I mean, that's the chainsaw encounter on professional, and through just like basic cheese tactics, you can essentially rob it of all its difficulty altogether. It's disappointing to say the least. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go. Nighthawk, thank you very much. I'm not going to be streaming for much longer anyway. I'm probably going to call it a night at 11 UK time. Can't say I'm bothered about missing Sabari 4. Shame. We'll do some Star Wars next time or something. But thank you for dropping by. Thank you for the resub. And you take care. I'll see you very soon. I have a promo sack of Chainsaw Ganado. Really? What, as in like action figures? The fuck? Dr. Salvador is better than 100% better than the Chainsaw Machine. Yes, but the Japanese files. There's a full-scale sack you can put on your head. Wow, that was a good shot. That was a good shot. Mish in the Japanese documents, you know, like the Kataishin shows and things like that. The official name for the Chainsaw Majini is Chainsaw Majini. Dr. Salvador was a localization thing. But it's one of those ones that I don't lose sleep over because it's completely irrelevant to anything really. If the localizers want to put a bit of flair on it, it hardly makes a difference. Wow, that is some good. Talking about the enemy itself, not the name. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, Chainsaw Majini. Sorry, yeah, you're thinking, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, I got confused there. Sorry. Chainsaw Ganado, isn't he? He's called. Not Chainsaw Majini. I'm in the wrong game here. Well, it's like according to the Japanese files and whatnot, Ingrid's actual surname is Hannah, I think. So it's Ingrid Hannah. But you know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's Hunnigan. It doesn't make a difference either way. I'm all for embracing the files, you know, when there's actually like errors that need fixing, you know, glaring problems, but a name. God, I'm getting owned by these villagers now. Let's change the beat. Because there I am running around, completely forgetting the fact that I've actually picked up the rifle, haven't I? Exactly, Kendo. I don't think people are going to lose sleep over whether the Chainsaw Ganado in this is called Dr. Salvador or Chainsaw Ganado. Martin Crack called it. I think the official name for that is Martin Cluckholm, but it's Crackhorn. It's what we've what we've been used to for 20 years. And you've seen Capcom themselves actually embrace the localizations with things like Jinaev instead of Zinaev. I will continue to use Jinaev because it makes so little difference at the end of the day. I really do almost detest this attitude that you've got to use the Japanese everything when we're talking these games. Ashley Birkin. It's very cool that Ashley turned up again in Resident Evil 6. I never figured her being an agent after being inspired by Leon in this. But I suppose it makes total sense for a character. They've been through hell here. Oh. That was the best. Back in the day, we thought, Sherry, we certainly did. And some of the theories, my own included, was witness protection programs, and she's got contact lenses in, which is why her eyes are a different colour. And oh Jesus!
Got something that might interest you. Got a selection of good.
There was the Wolverine Helix. It's the Plaga. But now we know that the Plaga could have potentially, come from the progenitor, if you believe the murals and stuff in the temple in RE5. So she's actually got progenitor in her. It's just a roundabout way.
What are you buying?
It all comes full circle. Where are we at for time? 10 minutes. Thanks, I hate it. But of course. When Resident Evil 4 Remake changes the story so much that the series has to do yet another 15-year course correct to make it all work again. Thanks, Capcom. Yeah, I hate that addition, Bandage. To me, that little lore addition is non-canon for me until proven otherwise. I just don't buy it. I just think it's something they added to Remake 3. It's not even in Remake 3 though, is it? It's on like the website. As Batman's pointed out on many occasions, it actually nullifies quite a few things. Ooh. What medallions? Where the hell where did I see t'other one? I just saw t'other one. There we go. How did I miss? How did I miss? Uh-oh. Thank you. Let's just tie a new remake to the game everybody loves. Well, again, this is the danger. I mean, if they remake it and mess it all up, you might find people don't love it so much. Or at least they'll always love this, but won't love the decision to remake it. It's dangerous territory. It really is. Ah! I don't know how I'm alive. I hate this puzzle. I think the lore and the timeline become more and more placid over time. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, we won't see. You're exactly right. We won't see a 15-year course correct because it's all canon. Sorry, guys. The clarification with creative simply won't come, and yeah, I think that's how they. That's certainly how they want it to be, isn't it? Damn. I know which ones I need. Now it's just a case of turning them off. Curses. Is TMA live? It's not so much the link that's the problem. It's the implications on lore. If they always had that kind of, if they had access to that kind of thing for so long, then it kind of renders this entire, and they've actually been able to synthesize it and create an artificial version of the Plaga, then it renders basically Ada's entire mission in this game pointless.
Leon, have you reached the church yet?
Well, yeah.
I hope Wolfpack is in the RE4 remake. Oh my word.
Ashley's probably inside that structure. Rescue her, hurry!
I always thought they used to fall off here. Oh, God. You guys ask too much. Yep. Yeah, we do. That's how we got. It's kind of how we got here, isn't it? Wesker might not even show up in REUL. Exactly. It, you know, they've had plenty of opportunities to bring Wesker back in so many different capacities now. You know, and I even include Dark. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Woeful aiming. I even include Dark Side Chronicles in that, with their very, very cut down appearance of. The very, very cut down appearance of Wesker in that game. Oh, as if I haven't got a grenade. Damn it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Oh no, I missed a few. Damn. RE has a lore problem in that there are more whack side games than mainline games. Well, yeah. The fandom loves to explore the most bizarre and inconvenient side lore. And apply, yeah. It's all it's all canon, Mish. It's all canon. Replace Leon and Ada with Bruce and Fongling. Never! Oh, you mean in this? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Our man Bruce needs to come back. This piece of music, I think it's called Serenity. It's one of the best tracks in the series. I think it's a truly fabulous piece of music. Resident Evil Gold for Resident Evil Cut. Yeah, let's just go totally outlandish with some of the side games. Go for it.
Got some rare thing.
Go claim your specialised gun.
What
This
are you
one's on the
buying?
house.
Thank you. What are you buying?
I was thinking, I was in Resident Evil 4 brain there, thinking, where can I drop off my
Thank you.
Lost the whole through two enemies. Where can I, deposit the guns I'm not using? But of course you can't, can you? You've just got to sell them.
Is that all? Thank you.
Chronicles in general hurt me. Yeah, it's. I as I've said before, I really like a couple of the side missions. I think Fourth Survivor is probably my definitive telling of Fourth Survivor. I think it's really good. I love Nightmare with the exception of the Sergei appearance, but the rest of it. Sergei's editions is nonsense. And no, yeah, his tyrants create a big problem with the law. RE Cart has to happen. I'm surprised that hasn't been a fan project.
What are you buying? What are you buying? Thank you.
How am I doing? My health is not great, and I'm going to need as much as I can for the Del Lago. Still want a traditional take on Umbrella's End. Yeah, exactly. As nice as it was, Talos was a bit underwhelming, wasn't it? You like Premonition Dream Wrecker? I did, Sonny. I'll take what I can get. I get that though. The opening thing is a bit weird, but I take Nightmare because of the genuinely great interaction between Rebecca and Richard. Begone, Boulder. It's all Ari's fault. Yeah, well, yes. Agreed. I'm not even going to mess around here. Really ruined that. It's not standing me in good stead for the... Oh no, I've got to go up in the elevated bit, haven't I? Oh god. Made a right hash of this. It's really just... That's really harsh on Code Veronica X, that is. I've totally got... I've got really muddled here. It's this bit, isn't it? Zero is superior to CVX. Yoke! My word. They're coming out with them tonight. No, I love Code Veronica X. I don't love Zero too much. Code Veronica X meant a lot to me back in the day. Bandage, despite not playing the series on PC, it still amazes me CVX has not got a PC release. That was what we all assumed was the whole point of porting it to the MT framework. CVX has some very, very good cutscenes. I can totally appreciate where Batman comes from by saying it took fantastical elements and ran with them to a point where it kind of broke the reality of it for him. And I get that. I do understand that. But I got drunk on it. I really did love the additions. I loved the Chris and Wesker conflict, even if it was silly to a point. I wouldn't have the series without it in a heartbeat. Wesker can't die, but it did. But I still maintain that the actual cutscene, the actual drama between Chris and Wesker is really good in that scene, and I would certainly not change that at all. Oh God, what am I doing? CVX is a video game with common Oreos dripped in ketchup. It's a bit too much of everything. I'll be controversial and say I didn't like CVX until... Well, I mean, as I've said on the podcast, I kind of like some of the look of the HD port. The new lighting in certain areas works really, really well, I think. Certainly not a deal breaker. Fantastical elements didn't irk me as a young kid. I got it, but completely ridiculous. Now, I get it, and I wouldn't disagree with people, but I just love, I just love so much of that game. It's always one I'm, always very happy to go back on. I don't know how well this is going to go, guys. The opening cutscene of CVX is the beginning of the end. Yeah, again, I don't disagree. It was certainly the moment where RE started to go more into the sort of hyper-epic, hyper-kinetic territory, abandoning a lot of the sort of early quirks and charms into Hollywood blockbuster. Where am I going, you big bastard? Ah! Controls. Look at these dated controls. Oh man, what happened there? Leon's dead. I like the way, to make sure it happens, it sets you back so far there is no way you can get back to the boat. And that's all she wrote. It's batshit insane. Darksiders are way better to introduce to the game. stuff like this makes the game amazing. But it's a good set piece. It certainly is a good set piece. I wish I had more health. I knew I was going to get hit by that. It took too long with the aiming. You've practically had it, Kendo, with Jake and Usternak. Of course, if I'd looked left, it would have come from the right. If I'd looked from the right, it would have come from the left. Ugh. Jake is even worse than Alice. Jake is a normal human by all accounts, isn't he? Oh, God, come on. I forgot how many spears this takes in professional. It's brutal. Oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad. I can't wait for Jake to meet Billy Wesker, please. No, let's not talk about that project, please. Oh, don't forget the QTE. I'm going to do this fight again. Yes. A long lost Tony Redgrave. Well, you joke, but Capcom always likes to reuse ideas, doesn't it? So, you know, that's not out of the realms of possibility what you're saying there, Kendo, at all. It could easily be retrofit into that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a good little moment, this. You'd like to think one of the carry-ons from the original version. And then the infection plot. What's going on? Yeah, it's a very good point, that, Mish. Lost radio contact with him for like the better part of a day.
Leon,
6 hours.
It's been 6 hours since our last transmission. I was starting to get worried.
Don't you mean lonely? Anyway, I started to feel dizzy, and then I guess I must have lost consciousness.
Lost consciousness? Maybe that has some connection to what the village chief was talking about.
Can't say. But I'm all right now. I'm gonna continue my mission.
Lovely. Just quickly check. Oh, for some reason you cannot turn the subtitles on, and I know not why. I seem to remember, and I'll just nip outside once I've saved, because I'm gonna leave it here, guys. But I will just nip outside and have a quick look at the rain. Hey, they send Mike. That's all you need on any mission. Yeah, the rain still looks pretty effective. Yeah, I'll take that for a 15-year-old game. Right, guys, awesome. Thank you very much for a wonderful turnout. Do you go back to see the wall shot? You know, I will actually do that, because I think I learned last time I'd never done that before. So the beginning of the next stream, I'll definitely do that. But I've run over 11 a little bit, so I best call it there. So yeah, awesome. Thank you very much, everyone. That was a really lovely turnout for the first time in about 3 weeks. So yeah. Yeah, all I will say is we'll get back to this soon. I've got to try and get it done before we record the podcast in a couple of weeks. So yeah, you all take care of yourselves. I will see you all very soon. Nice to see some of you again, because I've not spoken to you, like for example Yoke, for quite some time now, and Kendo. You know, we haven't sort of crossed paths lately, so it's nice to speak to you guys and catch up. Hope you're all good in these quite rubbish times. But yeah, I will see you all very soon. You all take care, and thank you very much for now. Bye bye.